The Commission of Inquiry into State Capture is hearing BOSASA-related evidence from businessman and former ARMSCOR CEO Kevin Wakeford, former BOSASA former BOSASA COO Angelo Agrizzi has implicated Wakeford in receiving money from BOSASA. According to Agrizzi, Wakeford was receiving 100,000 rand a month for helping Gavin Watson's company BOSASA to resolve its issues with the South African Revenue Service. Wakeford has denied Agrizzi's allegations against him, saying they were malicious and a gross fabrication. Let's take you live to the inquiry.
Before the renegotiations commenced, BOSASA invoiced the DHA 3,250 persons multiplied by 30.4 days, because that's the average month in a year, multiplied by 79.90 Rand per person, which came out at 7.8 million monthly. After renegotiation, the two addendums concluded in February 2009. BOSASA invoiced the DHA 2,500 persons times 30.4 times 99.41 per person, which came out at 7.5 million monthly. One would ask, why the increase to 99.41? That's factoring in principally inflationary increases, which would have happened anyway, Chair. This amount remained the same for the following 62 months until March 2014. This means that no annual CPIX increases were implemented over this 5-year period. This confirms that the price paid by the DHA over the two addendums was 333,000 less than the DHA paid before negotiation. Clearly a benefit to the DHA and not BOSASA. However, this ignores the fact that the increase in price from 79 to 99 per day was brought about as a result of the CPIX, which I've just mentioned. If this is considered the true price before renegotiation for comparative purposes is 3,250 persons times 30.4 times 99, which equals 9.8 million monthly. Therefore, in reality, the price after renegotiations represents an immediate decrease in billing of 2.2 million monthly, or 27 million annually. And Chair, you'll remember when he spoke about this in January 2019, he was going on about how famous this was the money-making contract of BOSASA. It constituted a small part of their total turnover, number one, and number two, it clearly wasn't, after the renegotiation, the real money-making beast that he spoke about. And Chair, this is merely perusing the facts and the legal documents involved. This exercise was performed for the period 2009 to 2015, when the contract expired, and demonstrates the true financial saving by the Department of Home Affairs over this period amounted to 325 million, Chair. A lot of money. And a table to prove that, Chair, is on page
937. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think you're right. That's right, Chair.
Yeah.
937. I'm not going to go through it now, but it really differentiates between what the contract was in 2005, what it became after the 2009 second addendum. And it proves beyond any reasonable doubt that there were massive savings for the state and for the fiscus, and hence the awards given to this project, Chair.
Well, you said it proves what the contract was in 2005, but I see the table seems to start in 2009.
Chair, we start in 2009 because that's when the second addendum was completed.
Oh, okay.
So you get the full benefit, and
yes.
we demonstrate that over a period of 6 years.
Okay.
So it was basically halfway through the contract, taking it to the end of the contract. And they could have continued with the savings, and I don't know why, but they didn't then extend at their own discretion. They negotiated a new contract. Now, I don't know what happened with that one.
Okay.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, just to get on to Radhakrishna, I'm aware that Radhakrishna himself completely denies Agrizzi's accusation of an agreement with BOSASA for the payment of 7 million regarding the Lindela renegotiation. However, on plain logic, it appears unlikely that a consultant would be rewarded with 7 million having cost them, or his so-called corruptors, 325 million, because that's what they didn't earn as a result of the saving. I further provided extracts of the income statement and the annual financial statements of Leading Prospect Trading, which demonstrates that before the renegotiation of the contract in 2007, Leading Prospect Trading earned an annual profit of 22.6 million. After the renegotiation, this profit consistently decreased year on year until 2012 and 2013, when the company actually made losses. These financial statements are indicative of the profitability of the Lindela contract, as Leading Prospect Trading was a single-purpose entity exclusively for the operation of the Lindela contract. Agrizzi's representations in paragraph 44.4 of his affidavit to the Commission are false in their entirety. One, he says the Lindela contract was not extended for, sorry, Chair, I'm not quite sure if this is taken from the 417. Is this taken from the 417? Not, thank you. I'll carry on, Chair. The Lindela contract was not extended for 5 years or at all. The contract had already been in place for 2 years prior to this review, and thus this did not require National Treasury approval, as alleged by Agrizzi. The DHA has already confirmed this to the Commission. 3, no more favourable contract terms were included in the contract. In fact, Agrizzi himself no longer appears to hold this claim. And I won't say why, Chair. The effect of the negotiations and review was to bring the cost per capita to the department down to only 35% of the cost per capita of similar services provided at private prisons, and there are some in South Africa, and the Department of Social Services as addressed in the Lindela negotiations, and it's all attached in the evidence, Chair. As regards paragraph 44.6 of his affidavit, or Agrizzi's affidavit, which once more refers to the extended contract, this statement can only be false. As confirmed above, the contract was not extended. Furthermore, I had at no time had any discussions with Agrizzi about the benefits of an extended Lindela contract. I cannot speak on behalf of SCOPA or opposition political parties. However, it is only logical to assume that anyone would look favourably upon the DHA paying less and receiving more, as the terms of the addendums dictate. And Chair, of course, Lindela as a concept or as a state policy has its opponents. There are some people who don't believe that you should repatriate and that you should detain. But in most democracies worldwide, there is some form of detention and repatriation, unless you are declared a refugee. And as much as people jump up and down, it's a reality, it's there. And we had to deal with that policy reality. It isn't for state departments to question government policy. They just have to implement. It is important to note that Fever Tree consultants operated at Home Affairs in a supportive capacity. They performed research and analysis followed by specific recommendations. As a support consultant working with DHA officials, Radhakrishna was only one member of a team responsible for negotiating these savings. All statutory powers, however, remained vested in the accounting authority.
All right, that's Kevin Wakeford, former CEO of ARMSCOR, continuing to give testimony at the state capture inquiry. We're going to go for a break.